David. Nice to meet you, David. Yeah. Oh, I'm Robbie. And they will go on tomorrow's. Especially on the where it goes onto the viewing pit.
Well,
He's got more of a squeaky voice. He's a good bass voice.
You got the mic.
Yeah, there we are.
Okay, we bring it right down to you there.
Something terrible. I am doing the southern chasing this WWE and rail car yesterday, and we were along here somewhere. Somebody ran the car in a red SUV because we came through and saw the cop in the SUV, but it was not his car. State Highway 1, that side or that side?
State Highway 1, the road to Field.
Yeah, so there's one.
State Highway 3 comes through.
Yeah, but the side here, what's this one?
State Highway 4 or 5k that way.
Right. Thank God for sat nav.
It was a last minute thing. We booked it on when? Tuesday? Wednesday?
Just please remain on the train. We're just picking up some more folk here. Thank you.
We are on time.
No. Yeah, because we've done the Northern Explorer.
Okay.
Yeah, from Wellington.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So we got married a year after we got married.
It's the first time I've seen this part of the line. No, the second time in daylight since 74. Every other train I've done, it's always been at night.
You'll notice the difference around Munga Wicket. That would have been a nice deviation up there in 1980.
Yeah.
I worked on the road up there. So we can do this last stage of that. Just doing the last stages of the railway deviation.
Yeah.
It might have been 81. Yeah, no, I'm sure it's impressive viaduct up there.
Yeah. So they're going to do a photo shoot there, back and forth, seeing everybody up the hill.
Yeah, some from Parker this morning they're following us.
Couldn't go to Wongaray anymore.
You can see them skiing down the road there.
I said it's a pity though.
John Stevens never really encouraged anyone else to shoot them.
You can just see them sitting on the road.
I think that there are two places in the country near the rail, and that's
Well, until you get to Ohakune, there'll be a lot more. There's now a few coming down from the other way.
freight road. It would be a safe road. Every opportunity gets unless they do something fairly soon.
What's that for?
They're trying to hide all the timber It was coming into Palmerston North yesterday from the PNG line. Some of the sleepers there look like they need to be replaced. Split the paddle and the bolts look a bit loose. Yeah, the timber ones. Now these are old, like they've been laid when they first laid the line.
We got north quite a bit, and they've got the concrete sleepers everywhere and not being used.
Where's this? Huh? Yeah, from Carry North. They've been there for 3 years, 4 years. But they're doing work at Oturia right now. Basically cleaning all the weeds off the track and see what's there. New drainage and everything.
So they're going to start that up to take
Who knows? Our new fat controller potato head Lux Flakes. Nothing will ever happen because we've got airplanes and anything with rubber wheels. I think Willis has got the rubber too. In the dungeons of the beehive. I can't either. Yeah, she's got a degree in English Lit. What's that got to do with bloody balancing books?
He came over here by car today. You folks are from Whangarei, eh? Are you from Whangarei? Oh, you know, lovely up there.
Oh, no, she was. I used to go. Yeah, but she down here 55 years ago.
I thought you'd driven down for the weekend.
We go up to our place.
Bay of Islands Vintage after Christmas. But they should be able to get almost to Opal. Because we've got had the tunnel open by then. Going by what they said last year. Yeah. You can't get into Opal itself because the local council's bought all the land and sold it all.
So you in the railways, like, got a lot of information of it.
Know a wee bit about it. Also do a bit of reading.
We used to live in Waitaki in Upper Hutt.
Yeah.
And we used to have the railway go through our place. They had all the tanks for the steam engines and all that. Yeah, that before we bought it. So we go along, like, we had like 5 acres, and in the gullies, you sort of dig a bit and you get all cups and saucers and the railways.
They'd be worth a fortune now. And I bet they're all in perfect condition too.
They must just toss them
Yep.
out.
Oh, really?
And Crownland crockery would have made a fortune.
Well, yeah, we've got a few, and we talked to her relation up north a few months ago when we were up there, and she said, I was on the railways, and I was sort of kept some, and she said, now, yeah, like you said, it's worth plenty, so I sort of kept some, but now just talking about, oh, they'll go and get cleaned and
Oh, the paint of the graffiti. Oh, there's Weaver on the roller doors in the seat. Look back to its original colours. Red and yellow. Well, that's right. It's like when they privatised they had the bloody horrible blue on everything. Like they must have got a good job lot. And all these people sitting in their cars. What the hell is this going through? Stop
Good
swap.
morning. So we're just welcoming aboard those folks that have joined us here at Fielding on our main train Steam Spectacular. So on behalf of Steam Incorporated and Glenbrook Vintage Railway, we hope you're going to enjoy your journey. Just a couple of safety announcements. First of all, there's no smoking anywhere on the train.
What about the
If you're
things in the
moving
front?
between the carriages, just do that swiftly, don't have some buffet counters. One is situated in the lounge car about the middle of the train. It's currently closed. We'll advise you should be open again in Martin. There's also one in the very front carriage on the GBR section of the train. And we also have a souvenir counter, and that's in car D, 1902, car D, for souvenirs. Nathan will look after you there. There will be a raffle at some stage on the train. So,
I like to clean you out though, mate.
you might want to take advantage of that when it's available.
The stuff they brought into the platform in Palmerston North yesterday, boxes, God knows what. Yeah. Like they've been through the warehouse and bought all up all the soft toys and protected everybody's soft toys from Easter eggs and God knows what else. Bloody crowd over there. Highway 1, please would do a checkpoint. Drink driver job. popular it is.
Yes.
More people chase the heritage than they chase the bloody normal ones. Yeah. You know, basically know the people that are doing it too. Because I know one of Q-Rail staff chasing it today. He was doing the announcements of the platform yesterday. He's racing it all the way through. And they got upset in the carriage we were in. We turned all the lights off because we wanted to see outside. But this woman, they kept on opening the window. Oh, she had to turn the light on. There's another one, the same thing. He wanted to read his phone. Yeah. You know, a heap of kids in there. They said, turn the lights off so we can see outside. The hours you see the same thing. Depends which run you're doing. You sit in the very end carriage and the hook jobs. No couplings like that.
At this point,
it says, don't fucking touch. And everybody will touch it. Palmer's at the top of the hill.
We're crossing over the state highway in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Because going up the bank, the road going up the bank, there's heaps standing on the top of the hill. Yeah.
Climb up this bank, but the two steep locomotives are handling it with ease.
WW did spiral or what? Survive? Because they had the diesels. Can you see it? Can you see them?
So now we've climbed the bank, we're now up on the Regatiki Plains, and very shortly we cross
station building.
now off the highway, and so not so many people pass through the town, but it is quite a nice destination.
When the night trains are still running, had to drop them late off. Doing some work in Wanganui, had to drop them
We
late
are
off.
going to be making a stop here at Martin to pick up some more passengers. This will be our last stop for passengers, but we want you to remain on the train, please.
Bloody molten. You're like my father, shaves it all. When he was in hospital, sick, he was unable to go to the bar to get it all removed. He still had a good head of hair. He was in his 80s. No grey on top, it's all like me. All down below. We used to pluck them out and all of a sudden, nah, they just took off.
Drifting along until we get that light and we can pull into the station.
We left Auckland on Friday night, slept on the train, which went through the night. By the next Saturday we were in Ohakine. We actually slept on the wharf and we went, then the next day we went up to, I think Ohakine was the northernmost part of the line. We went to Ohakine and that's all probably closed now.
No, some parts. Did you go to Kaikoui? Did you go to Kaikoui?
Kaikoui is not on that. Is it on the line?
It was.
Yeah, well, it would have been if it was there. If we went through it, we would have been. It's 2 nights on the train. Now, if it's water, it's not right. I remember one of the things that Winston Peters that was as part of his thing was that they actually load all tunnels on the northern line. Cost so much money because they couldn't get a 40-foot high container through side of the wreck. Some of them at times they scrape the sides of the tunnels.
There is a video out done years ago showing the inside of one of the tunnels with big scrape marks down the top of it with the high cubes.
They drove at Woodville, they used to have a right beam, and if anyone
Now, just a message, please, for the cars. As you issue these meal tickets, could you please double check that you've given them to the right people in the right seat? If there's any hiccups, please.
Now there's a truck that just deflate the tyres and drag it out.
If you're short or you've got some over, but double check that you have given
I have seen a video of
people.
in the States, train controller set the wrong points, and one of these carriages that take all the cars took the top off and all the cars are going dum 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 dum.
One of my brothers was in the States and he's a railway man. He took him a while to come out of the closet and finally Nico and he was over in the States. He was at the Midwestern just stood watching this absolute enormous rail marshal putting together a train of fuel wagons.
There's a bit of a rush on the buffet, so just take your time.
International standard gauge, and then the enforcers stopped and waved them over. So obviously they get bored, let's see them. They go stand in the wagon or they marshalled this train which was going to be all fuel wagons, and he said it was one of those things that was going to have 3 logos in the front and a couple in the middle. It was just absolutely enormous. And he said, what is this? What's this train? This fuel? Where's it going? And the guy said, there's a strategic air command base about 400 miles from here. And he said, how long is this going to last them? He said, they get 3 trains a week.
Holy mackerel.
But they've also got big bloody old mines and what have you, which they fill up with oil. Because American military, you cut off their fuel supply, they're dead. It's like the Germans when they invaded Russia. They showed all the bloody vehicles. They didn't show the 2 million horses that are bringing everything in the rear.
Recommend going along.
Hey, stop go people. We'll go one way, change the light, signs around and go the other way.
So I haven't got any cones. I haven't seen a cone all day.
Shut up. I've seen videos or pictures of the city rail link from the tunnels there, the bloody orange cones. They've migrated to the bloody underground. You go through Huntley Station. Looks like somebody's thrown one over the bloody traffic wall. It's lying on the on the ballast.
Working on the roads to change your only safety barrier really, and they don't do much really. But
I travelled around the South Island with a guy and they ran quite big contractors. They ran a forestry division and a civil division working on the roads. And he said, John, we love it. What we now do in a day, we used to do in an hour. Well, we just still get paid for it. By the time they get to the site, there's a health and safety meeting, and they
Shows a good parrot.
bloody safety nudges out putting 400 phones all
Oh,
over.
it has gone over the top.
It's all to do with John Key after bloody Pike River. Because he changed the rules.
Rules, yeah. Actually, I can't see that movie actually on Pike River. That might be quite interesting.
Someone's head should have rolled.
Oh, yeah.
And Key was one of them. Key would have been one of them.
And I did hear that the guy who probably knew a little bit about it, he said the guys working underground, they were on an incentive, or they got a bonus for
Pike River.
Pike River for extra coal they got out of the road. And they had all the safety gear down there, like gas warning and whatever, all that sort of thing. If these things went off at any stage because the levels were getting too high, they had to evacuate because they lost their bonus for the day. From what I was told, though, now and again they would
Push the
make
limit.
them out.
Yeah.
And whether that's true or not, I don't know.
I understand.
I could quite believe it.
I understand in Australia you've got to have two ways out of a mine.
Yeah,
There's only
that's right. They never had
But
any other way out.
I think they were very much reading between the lines false on both sides.
Yeah.
And the mining company should have cost them.
Yeah, because they did want open cast, but they weren't allowed because of regulations, I think.
No.
Yeah. It's like double tracking through the swamp between Mary and Tikawara. Creepy crawly lovers. Oh, they've got some things there which are rare. As soon as you start dropping a bit of ballast in, the bloody things will move.
That whole section of rail initially was floating. That was just on logs.
Yeah. Even to Te Awamutu, they were saying when they did the electrification, the track used to sink, but the catenary was still at the top. The catenary wires were lowered.
Yeah.
They had to lower them to bring the track up, so the pantographs connect, because the trains are heavier. But the crowd that would have made a fortune was the ones that made all the power poles.
I don't know why they're not using them. I mean,
They do.
every now and again, but it's pretty rare.
There's one goes up in the morning, one comes back in the afternoon.
What is it?
Sorry?
Big industrial place when we went past on the right hand side as we came in. It was huge. You're cooking.
Or over there.
Oh, over there where the big silos are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's they call that the Martin malting plant. They make malted barley for whiskey.
Oh, for what? For whiskey?
Whiskey, yeah. Yeah. It's probably more than that.
Sorry.
That's what it was.
Oh, a strip show, is it?
Probably a big storage facility now, I think.
Oh, we thought it was going to be bloody cold. We're standing at
We're not no Ohakune yet.
we're standing at Otaki, and people come around for Palmerston North.
It's freezing.
2 people we talked to, I've been there since 6 o'clock because I think they might want to miss the train. Which was the 7 o'clock train.
Were they there for parking too? Or?
Yeah, you park there.
No, but when I give me it, they could have got the good parking spots.
How long are we going to leave?
No.
Hopefully we can go to Ohakune at 10 past 2 or
I think it was only
this
about
afternoon.
So we're going to lose our
Maybe.
way.
I don't know what will happen here. Oh, they'll probably just run
And
late.
3 ducks.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Well, we've got the tracks all ours.
yeah, that's right.
Could be a freight coming this way.
So you've done it a few times, have you, or just one, or
Oh, years and years ago, yeah. I've done only 2 trains. Went up to National Park, myself and my wife, 5 or 6 years ago. And this is the first one I've been on since like going north.
We used to run from Pycott into Wellington and then through the Hutt Valley and over the Waiapa to Woodville.
Yeah.
And then come back
They
to
call it the dress circle, I think you go right around here. Yeah, I've done that about 60 years ago. The rail cars are still running.
So how old were you at that stage?
That's a sad story.
Probably, still primary school, I think, so I would probably have been about 10 or 11.
That high.
Yeah. Back in the late mid-late 70s.
So you
Welcome aboard to those folk who just joined us here at Martin.
No, I'm 76.
You're the last of the passengers
You're a baby.
aboard. We now have a total of 526 passengers aboard the train, plus about 30 odd crew. Anyway, first of all, just a safety announcement for you folk that have joined us. No smoking anywhere on the train. The only thing that's allowed to smoke are the two steam engines ahead of us. So we do have two viewing platforms on the train. You're welcome to stand on those. Open air. Enjoy the scenery from them. One's situated at the front of the train, the other one's about the middle of the train. We also have two refreshment counters. One situated in the centre of the train, the lounge car, and the other one is car U, and that's the first of the yellow carriages, not in the front, but in the rear of the yellow carriages. That's a refreshment and a bar there for alcohol and other beverages.
Yeah, we were retired, but we sort of...
Now just a word about the toilets on the train. There are toilets located at most carriages, but please remember these are not quite the same as domestic toilets. So they need to be treated with care. Please do not put too much paper down the toilet, and certainly don't put anything
I'm a
else
casual
down.
for these guys. I was with the contracting side of Higgins for nearly 50 years, and then Fletcher's bought the firm, and then the Higgins family, they retained control of the concrete plants, and they do a lot of
Now we
stuff.
also have a souvenir counter,
Because I want a part-time job,
which
so
is
I keep on
situated in
going.
car D1902.
So I've been with him about
Nathan
7
will look
years
after you
now.
there.
Yeah.
At some stage we'll be having a raffle
Same
for a
thing,
nice hamper there.
you know, it just gets you out and about.
They'll
and,
possibly bring that through the
you know,
train.
meeting people again, and yeah, no, I quite enjoy it. On a day off, I can take a day off.
It's still with a pension coming in, so
Yeah.
I don't realise that.
Pay a fair bit of tax, of course.
Yeah, because you've got another job.
But still, it's still worth it.
I get a pension. I survive quite well,
Yeah,
especially this time of the year.
yeah.
With what's it called? Energy allowance.
Energy allowance. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and also what you get from
I'll get there, it's got all good.
One of you get it.
Usually good deals. And we retired like 18 months ago. The accountant does your bills, like we had all the accounting fairly monthly payments on the entire technical. And they did half a year and half a year bill, and then the rest of each year. Well, yeah,
ethnic variety. He thought he was able to get away with everything. But this little, slightly larger train manager, out. But what I heard earlier in the piece, he tried to put his bike on the bus. Bus driver said. There's council pension units. I don't even see my rent being paid because it comes out of my benefit. Pension. It works out at what? $240 a fortnight, which is good. But then I got to pay for my own power and. My power bill this month is what I paid the first year I moved to Auckland. For the whole year.
Right, so we're just descending the bank down onto the Rangatiki River Plains. So we're leaving the main Rangatiki Plains and down onto the river flats through here. Rangatiki River again. We crossed it at Kakariki, and we're going to be seeing it spectacular through the area with all the viaducts. But that's in a little while.
Something Ohakine don't sell. Pizza. Part of my tea last night. At midnight. He was trying to find some place that sells food I could eat. I don't have. I got teeth, but I don't wear them. Go on, make yourself tough so no one hits you. Outside is it?
See you nothing. They stuck into the window.
Surprised a lot of people forget so
AB6, and that was built in the Hillside Workshops in Dunedin. It's spent most of its working life based around Invercargill, travelling between Invercargill and Dunedin, mostly on mainline passenger service, but also occasionally on branch lines. This locomotive is our mainstay for many, many years now. It's a beautiful locomotive, steams freely, and it's got all roller bearings so that it runs very smoothly and freely too. And then behind that is the very famous locomotive, AB608, which in 1925 was named Passchendaele. So if you're looking at the locomotive, you'll see the two plaques, one on either side of the boiler. They commemorate the soldiers who died in the First World War, the railway men that were involved in the worst battle in the history of New Zealand warfare at Passchendaele. But it commemorates all the soldiers who died. So this locomotive was built in 1915 in Christchurch and Addington workshops. It's one of a ubiquitous class of locomotives that were very successful right throughout the country. This locomotive was restored just over 10 years ago now to the condition you see it in now. It's just gone through its 10-year survey, which means it's been thoroughly gone through a lot of replacement parts, etc., to bring it back into full service again. So this weekend is the first time it's been in steam for about 15 months.
It was in steam the other day when it was on steam car.
The locomotive that is well known for the Marlborough Flyer. It spends half its life down there in the South Island, and in August it will be travelling south again with some of our carriages and some of couple of our diesel locomotives.
But will you get them back?
For services in the South Island.
The old wooden carriage with all vegetables.
In the middle of the train, just ahead of the lounge car, that's the viewing platform. Just remember, of course, that it's got a limited number of people can be on the platform at any given time. So please don't hog it. If you've had a good turn, please return to your seat and let somebody else have a go. Thank you.
Were they restricting people coming up?
big attraction. Went for tomorrow. Just grumpy old ruddy diesels. Yep. I was going to chase it with it.
Just passing through Branta.
Because when they brought out the one to Woodville yesterday, bought that. I got enough for the money in my pension, because we only got paid. I bought the second one. So I gave me 4 for the weekend. I don't know why I paid for the thing on the station yesterday for the cavalcade and everything. I was there before they even started to set it all up. Steam engine went through. The only signs they say there is no bikes on track. Nothing else. Take all the numbers and have a look at Ohakune when we get there. Yep. No,
Two carriages at
room
least.
carriage.
Yeah.
2 carriages up. It's like a lot of these wagons, whatever, they're bought in China. Then they also be rebuilt.
So if you're looking out to the left at the moment, you'll see a big stand of bush, a big bush reserve in there.
The old locomotives too, they were Chinese built.
The highway used to travel through the centre of that bush, but now it's
First batch
walking tracks
that
in
came out
there.
here were full of asbestos, and they told they weren't supposed to have it there. Said to send
And
the
we're
Chinese
just on
out
our
to
way
remove it.
to Hunterville. We'll pass through there very shortly.
The whole part's sitting at Woburn right now in Rocken Road. Ready to be chopped. They've only got a 10-year life, man. It's on key for you. They should have built here. But A&G prices is still chunky like those and everything. tax cuts.
Just up here, there's a couple of old brick chimneys, just a little bit up the line, standing in the middle of a field now. Sort of a poignant reminder that once upon a time there was a homestead there, a farm building. I think they're still there. Keep an eye out for them on the left-hand side.
Then run ahead to find out. Most ones you never see anywhere unless you go to the Facebook page or something. What these characters doing a video of, you never see it anywhere.
Yep, they're still there, those two chimneys, brick chimneys, standing all alone in the middle of a paddock.
Now there was a brickworks. Dig around the base when you find it. Oh, somebody got tunnels in there. That was the e-car.
Just to the north of the township, there's a lovely statue of a dog. And Hunterville is really a kind of crossroads where there's a link across to Whanganui, going through the Ohakine and the Ohakune valleys. By road, that is.
More weeds. What a lovely garden. They sell the house and hoping the people that buy the house won't destroy the garden. Turn into the lawn. Your man never liked mowing the grass. So half the section was concrete. If people don't like that, I'll paint it green and make it look like grass. Yeah, born in the swing door shit house. What cafe car was that?
I see people coming through with that.
facing backwards, which you decide to look at.
Going forward's gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the trip out the Woodville last night, kids didn't realise while they were sitting, you really seen the other side of the line, so they went right around. Back about 9 and took me an hour to find a place in Palmerston North that was open that would answer the phone. I finally got one that was an 800 number and bang, they were right there and then answering it. Yep. They got 2 nights bloody money out of me. I said I might do a 3rd night, see how I feel. Because for the trip tomorrow, gets back supposedly at 7:45. I'll turn around and drive either stay there or drive north. Because I left Auckland 3 o'clock Thursday and got to Palmerston North at 2 o'clock. So it's been an hour or so in the late place on the way down to Hamilton. People heading to Auckland that was going south. Yeah. Once we got out of Jury, everything was going fine. They had numbers like 1, 2, 17, 22.
If you look out on your left hand side, you might be able to detect in a little while where the old line ran around on the hillsides. You'll see where the embankments were, and if you actually know where to look, up on the left hand side again, there's an old tunnel mouth. It's a little bit up above us.
Everybody complained about Mole doing electrifying the line. Use your muscles. You're now retired.
Yeah. Slowly, yeah.
Now you need like a roll and take things out of it. straight down your head. Didn't your wife cut them in nice little slices for you? Young Aaron again.
Oh, made it onto the train. Yeah, John. I could, yes.
You're trying to get ideas. Aaron, you're trying to get ideas, are you? Do things like this more often down this way.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah.
Could do.
Yeah, good price, cheaper than Kiwi Rail.
Oh, yeah.
There is a house there for you. Take this thing. Take this thing.
What the remains of an old railway house.
Posh. But you read the outside, it just says cap, some other thing, up A sort of thing.
Station here called Menga Monoho.
You want a lot of water?
Oh, do you want me to do your train as well? Two for 1, 3 for 5. If you're interested, here's what's inside the box. Lovely raffle. Thank you. 2 for 1, 3 for 5. So you're interested? How many? 2 for 3? Yep. I'll pass you. Any takers? Yep. Sweet. Here's what's in the box.
Yeah, that's supposed to be some that was on the road. I wonder where that little boy come from. There's no house.
Any takers? Any takers?
Yeah, mate.
Oi,
How much are they, mate?
2 for 1, 3 for 5.
You reckon you got a
2 for 5?
No, 3 for 5.
3 for 5, yeah.
Sweet, easy.
looks like your Christmas wrapping paper.
Actually, yes, it does look like that.
That's not bad. That'll be 3 for 5.
You just want Thomas to thank
Yeah.
you, don't you?
Lovely.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Even though the number I always take on it, so there we go.
Not like a project manager years ago. Not like a project manager many years ago. Raffle on site. He bought 5 numbers, thinking they were consecutive order. The number that came in was one that was sold earlier in the piece in the middle. Nothing. Good pub rattles years ago. Same number, 15 or 13. Ended up having to buy a new freezer. Because it wasn't so bloody much meat.
So you'll have probably seen the reason for our going slowly. They're working on the overheads here, on the main. So we're just in the loop, travelling through here. But we'll be speeding up again once we're past the work site.
You gonna close the door? Oi!
People coming through. People coming through.
The one I yelled at didn't even look backwards. Kept on going. Playing footsies with you. Open the bag and put it all in there. That's his afternoon tea.
Right, so we're now approaching the viaduct. So, looking out to your left and your right, spectacular views down to the river below.
They're all standing down the car park.
The viaduct is 229 metres long and we are 73 metres above the water level. Just ahead of us, we're going to pass under the highway. Again, this was a deviation that was done on the highway just by Ohakine. Used to be a very dangerous rail crossing at Ohakine where there was a few fatalities, so this deviation was made to avoid that. Of course, Ohakine was once a little township, but very little there now. If you're looking out to your right, you'll see a few houses and what was the old post office, which I think is Leatherworks now or something like that.
And the dead end of town. sale for 150,000.
Always been there.
Well, that rubbish. But it's in the middle of nowhere. You've got no neighbours to complain about it.
Well, when you go up the highway, you look across it. Shit, it's still there.
And more stuff there.
Township of Ohakine.
It's like
Remains of it.
when I
And,
did my trip around the States,
counters on your
you go
left is flat
past
hills,
people's sections.
which
You
is
see
a,
cars, you can see, basically work out the area they were put there by all the grass on them.
and,
Because nobody took them to the
some very nice
scrapyard
tea
or
rooms there, and
wreckers. They just dumped them in the back section.
ground and a maze, and a
Thinking,
small,
oh, do something with them later.
not really petting, but you can see animals for the kids.
When you go from Ohakine to the Lynn, driving on the left hand side, there's just vehicles everywhere. He moved them.
So you're looking out to your right, you'll be able to see the cliffs of the Ringatiki
Hey,
River.
if they're sitting there, it doesn't have to mow the lawns. Just weed eater around, use the weed eater to get rid of the grass around the car.
Big deer underneath.
So, just a message to car stewards, make sure your lights are on,
They used to be
please.
on one corner.
We'll fairly soon be going through a tunnel. So, all lights on, please.
Turn them all off. So this time of year they didn't shear the bloody sheep. Because all was naked.
So the only other trouble we did later on, journey people going through with alcohol.
Just checking for tomorrow where the place to get the good shots from. Because last time I came through here in daylight was 74 and saw Fern. And the last trip by night was $35 returned from that, Auckland to Wellington. Yeah, but the price, $35 return. I know. windows. Good God, Bunny, that does that too.
Yeah, until we stand up. To watch out this one though. Please, there's not many tunnels.
Okay, we cross the main highway again here, and then we're just by the Mangaweka township. Just go around the outside of it.
Yeah, the window cleared up. You come across the ferry.
So it's from this point on that there was a major deviation put in, and this is the most spectacular part of our journey today. Little township, just to the east of the town. So at this point we cross under State Highway 1 again, and very shortly we'll be approaching the first of the viaducts. The old line used to run off to our left, and the deviation went over, as I said, the viaduct over the highway, but it also went through a series of little tunnels, all named again moose and elk and deer and possum. And very shortly we'll cross the South Rangatiki Viaduct, 315 metres long and 75 metres above the water level. This is well worth a good look out to your left or your right to see the spectacular Papa Cliffs of the Rangatiki River.
Early start, mate. You guys go to Road City tonight? No, I saw Robert and Carol yesterday.
This is the one that featured on Great Railway Journeys in recent times. It's
What's that guy?
on pillars,
Yeah.
quite tall pillars of course, 73 odd metres above the water.
Built by the eye ties.
It's like Carol
Looking out to your left and your right, those beautiful cliffs and the river far below. Spectacular.
There you go. My bungee jumping.
Good way up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could just be like
Built down there.
all rail traffic ahead of about a third mil, I think, and part of it fell down. Across all the wagon. I think there's anything else.
That's sort of part of the bloody motorway on Spaghetti Junction in Auckland fell down too.
So the river's now
They just poured it.
to our left.
Down it went.
I was asleep in car tent.
And the next one we'll be crossing is the Kapatau. This is 181 metres long and 72 metres above the water level.
No, because they're 430 express.
But that, of course, is a tributary into
And they used to open his door to
the Rangatiki River. It's just up the line a wee bit.
every now and then you see them going down and you go, oh shit, look at that.
It's like a hospital beeper.
They get reception.
I thought all this area would be a good dairy farming. It's all seems to be sheep and deer. Let's see a few deer back further.
Not too, there's the odd dairy farm, isn't it?
Yeah. did the right thing with the batteries. All the SD cards, reformatted the whole bloody lot because a lot of them had so much crap on them, and your deletes and everything else was built up, and you had that 10 minutes of viewing, and the rest was nothing.
So, some spectacular views now. Again, keep an eye out. So after the Kapatau viaduct, we then go over the North Rangatiki viaduct, which of course is over the river again.
Really? So it was over the road.
And that one is 181 metres long and 71 metres above sea level. That's the Kapatau with the tributary.
It's not coming up. Oh, okay.
Engineers have done their calculations well.
Yeah.
Still stand up.
They didn't have to take their shoes off the count on their toes.
Yeah.
I think Willis does that.
I mean, could be tonight with health and safety. Yeah, you have to do it some other way.
North Rangatiki. Looking right down to the river again, which of course is flowing the other way now. Line a wee bit, we have one more viaduct. It's again over a tributary, it's the Toi Toi viaduct.
It's too high for a train to lift.
Difficult country.
So if you're looking out to your left, you may be able to spot the embankment where the old railway line used to go and joined up with us just up here a little bit. Viaduct, and now of course we're meeting up with Highway 1 again. It's come over those hills from Mungawika. So looking out to your right, you're about to spot down the river and some of those wonderful cliffs again. We travel beside the river here, and just along here is a wee bit is where we had a lot of trouble on State Highway 1. There was constant slumping. They've done a lot of work to rectify that. At one stage they thought they may even have to close the highway. And if we're looking out to your left, you might be able to see some of the work that they did to stabilise it in just a little while.
See, all the slips on the so got no angle. We saw
Yeah, in the tunnel. Oh, in the tunnel? Yeah,
It's a little bit black.
Yeah. The complexion's changed a bit. Yeah.
It's the tan.
It's steamy.
Pretty neat though.
At least we can bring things through just as they through Auckland. And you get all cookies and everything for nothing. Chocolate chip one. Like monster cookie or something. One of these mobs. Or about that size.
We'll discuss this at the end of the festival.
Oh, he wants something.
Oh, what would you like?
I see quite a bit of old man's beard up through here. We got a bad out of Tararua area of the side. There's paint's down from up here, apparently. All that snowy cloud there, that's it. It's a vine that climbs up natives. Yeah, up at Mercury Gorge, going up from Kaitoa towards the East Coast. It's got that heavy that it's just squishing the native skin. Yeah, bad, real bad in that.
Close it all.
Yeah, you can. There's a river valley up there.
Better.
And you can't scrape the helicopter because the chemical end up in the river. So
I've got some drinks as
I
well.
don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I might grab a drink, mate.
One way is
Coke, LNP,
get in under
Banter.
it, you cut the vine. Because you don't leave it
I don't
touching the ground.
Just approaching Ohakune. I think some of you will be familiar with Ohakune. There's a wool store here, wool shop and factory. And then we're on our run down to Taihape.
You're right, mate.
We've got one big long one in the main motel unit.
Hi guys, how are you today? Do you have anything from or chocolate, drinks, lollies, biscuits, chips? $4. We've got chicken really salted and salt and vinegar. Get one out for you. And we do have change. So $1. I'll pass that up to you. You guys be after anything? Chocolates, lollies, drinks, just one. Just cash.
Yeah, there's little packs like that they give away for free. So, free drinks. Hey Sean.
Stick the riff raff in this one.
Hey? They let you on the thing, that horrible yellow.
Your own supplies.
Right, we're just on the approach to Tai Happy. Just around the curve here, there used to be a tunnel, which was daylighted, in other words removed. If you know where to look, out on the left hand side, just look back after we pass through this little cutting. You'll see the old tunnel mouth. As soon as we go through this cutting, we're out.
We are.
Into Tai Happy. And looking out to your left, you'll see the old loco depot. Still a turntable here, which we use from time to time. Of course, was where a lot of the KA locomotives that worked this line back in the days of steam were located here for the next section of the main trunk line. Stop here at Tai Happy to water the locomotives, but please remain on the train. Please do not leave the train while we water the locomotives, and then we'll be underway again as soon as possible.
About 40 minutes behind time.
Looking out to your left, you'll be able to see that turntable. Turntables that used to be located low places down the line. Yep. They're now few and far between, but fortunately there's one still here, because Key Rail don't use them very often. It's mainly the heritage. Now, just to repeat that message, please remain on the train. Do not get off the train. We're just going to water the locos and be underway again, smartly.
Very smartly.
How much water they hold? They hold a few thousand litres, I guess.
Yep.
If that mountain of coal will reduce yet.
Yeah.
Mungatroto was just the private school, but they did build a high school No, I've still got a lot of friends and family that's got Mungatai and retired there. Went up there last year for the first time in about 30 years, I suppose. Mungatai, I just about got lost. I couldn't find my way around the place.
I've even got the cops here. Crowd control.
started out there, daughter biggest. Yeah, what I mean, North Auckland, all the, you go for the oysters and
Drugs, grass.
just food, fish, go to the markets, Ohakine markets.
Sorry, guys. Just
Yeah.
scoot on past. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we were just at the base of the Brindlewood Hills with folks from Share looking up there. We were just off State Highway 12 on the way to Whakapene Road, where we were. Three of us still know the area really.
Is that so much we used to get the humans sugar bag on the side of the road? Just that food. We got 3 kids, so we go up and see the grandparents and their parents. And then on the way back, get the cumin stuff in the back of the car. Kids' feet, you've got to go up.
No, I used to have that at Tairuru with crayfish. Live ones running around the back seat, floor of the back seat.
It's a nice part of the world, isn't it?
It is nice. It's just so different.
Well, I suppose around somewhat touristy.
Just one leg of this grandkids are grandkids are just hello, get out of here.
Nice to meet you.
Quite cold, isn't it? Quite tight. Gas ball filled up and it was only $25 or $30.
Yeah,
It's cheaper than
find everybody
anywhere else down here.
they'll come through. Once we get
Cut the gas up there.
you won't better do it.
The same like
Oh, they could come
in Palmerston.
Yeah, they've got
We've
three
got reasonable, well, as cheap as people can be. We probably got something cheap down there. You get down to the tin, and it's about 15 cents a litre cheaper, and you get down to Paraphrase. About 20, 30, 40 cents a deer. You can't work it out. Even around Wellington it's quite dear.
The upper heart's not bad. But we try to get to them within fill up and we go to Foxton. It's quite
The Gold Station, I'm happy to see it self-service. That's usually pretty cheap. I don't know how it all works, but further south it goes here and here.
Yeah, we used to go to the mobile car.
So you used to grow? Yeah, I used to do it.
Yeah, it was just, I got that local farming in Taiwan. One of these sons is still on. They retired to my uncle hasn't really retired, he's near 90. He still goes up to the farm every day, drives the extra.
I feel bad if he doesn't do that anyway.
You know, they sort of semi-retired, I suppose, about 10 years ago. Got water, boxing, and the last time I was there was garage, pub, store, about half of those houses, that's about it. Now it's like a full city.
The temperatures warmer. But we went up a few months ago and they had the rain and the wind. Oh, shocking. Go up here and get warmer.
We're getting a few vans installed, few bad thunderstorms go through the area over the last sort of 18 months.
You look at the weather forecast on TV1.
Thanks, folks. The next place we're passing through is Mataroa.
A lot of rain up there.
And just before that, there's a short tunnel. Used to be called the Pit Tunnel. 660 metres long.
Palmerston North.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember at the entrance,
Gets a bit of a bad rap. We've already talked about the Palmerston North like that.
Just thinking we got a rugby would be a bit upper class, but we went to watch Tasman, relation playing for Tasman, and you go to Palmerston North, and you've got a bloody stock car track running around.
Yeah, but it's only a drawback. So I do a fair bit of work in Speedway too. I do some track maintenance there. So, but yeah, you are along for a game of rugby.
One of the best ones was probably go, and you walk off the road and onto the stand straight away, and the field's there. It's really good. See what we're saying about the stickness here of the train, the underwater hills and
What? Can't sleep.
They want to see us.
But the old Stoker's flat out. Oh yeah, seen that car before.
Usually a blue one that chases with GVR.
Yeah.
He's got a drain that goes with it too.
Oh yeah. You're too impressed.
So we went up a couple of months ago, going to Waru, and then we had to go to Ohakine. There used to be a big timber plant there, and you remember us last time?
It's closed down. Because the cost of electricity. I don't know why they didn't use all the bloody offcuts and everything for a big boiler. Make your own. They do it elsewhere.
Because it's all overseas owned, all Malaysian owned. I think it's a lot of people.
Well, her brother-in-law works for a timber company in Ohakine, but same by Japanese. The camera will be a long way away. So you were saying about Fletcher's report, Higgins and I mean, Higgins are all over New Zealand, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Also Fiji, because I was over there
We're in Fiji. I don't know if they still are.
July last year, just the end of July. Saw Higgins, Fletcher's, and VMB, but Foxes and Borage. They're doing something there.
Yeah. They were in Fiji for 10, 15 years, I suppose. I don't know whether they still are. I think
Higgins and Williams
Yeah. They've got quite a good business going on. They're almost standalone. Well, most of the companies do standalone. Overall owner. Oh, they've got pretty corporate ones, which just took over. It's been pretty much there for a year or two. They got involved. They reckon they're working things did change.
Because we were working, there was 115 units. We do repairs and
Absolutely send that one out.
they want people who moves the boss wanted all the gardens tuned into stones, so I've got the old 20 mil stones. Yeah, so I need to dig into the hole, and sometimes it's on the road, it's not there, go down the back, so you drive down the back and you see all the equipment they've got.
Good. Someone must have wound the window now.
No, it's only came through the end bloody carriage door. One trying to get dressed. Idiot.
So I've got my sister's partner, he works for Downers. And they got a lot of jobs cut. He said, oh, no, they started jobs and then the government said no, no more money, so yeah.
Halfway through a job too.
But they're now Malaysian owned. Downers. Nothing to do with New Zealand anymore.
Yeah, I thought it was Aussie guy.
They got a lot of work in Aussie.
They'll be the closest firm around, won't they, in New Zealand?
Yeah, mate just got a job with them before Christmas.
They know originally the Leaders Based, I think that's where they started. Yeah, long time ago. Yeah, they're pretty big in Palmerston.
Yeah, they got trucks and fly another truck. Diggers everywhere.
The other one's
We meet them back to the centre road was blocked or slips, so you couldn't use it. So you went up the coastways to come back through the centre, and you know, it's a place that you haven't been to before, but it's roads going two like one line both sides, and next minute so one lane bridge, and
And
farm, not farm, like country out there.
and when John Key tried to get rid of New Zealand first, Winston Peters in the far north, and Simon Bridges said we'll build 10 bridges. What did they do? I think they built half a bridge.
Yeah.
Another one with a nickname, Simon No Bridges.
So through Peters, we catch the train from Ohakine, go and watch the rugby and down.
Yeah.
Free train. Go and watch the game.
It's like Auckland. If you've got a ticket to Eden Park and what have you, even Mount Smart, you can use your ticket to get the train or public transport. It was all included in the price.
That's right. Smoke and steam.
They were talking about bringing the electrification all the way up to Palmerston North, and whether they're all or not, so they can run a commuter train down a few times a day rather than
Well, they've got to get to the wind first.
Yeah. one of my eldest daughters, one of her eldest is at Victoria University, living in Ohakine. Catherine quite often goes down as far as Ohakine, parks the car there and jumps on the side. Goes there. Don't have many hassles of parking in Wellington.
There's a lot of cars parked around.
You go to Albany with the beginning of the bus lane. Cars parked in the park and ride, plus every other bit of flat land they're parking them on also. But for each of those car parks, it cost them $10,000 just in the bloody cost of building it. Nowhere to
Plenty of smoke. They're working hard there. Yeah. Instead of the smoke, the smoke.
Yeah, clear the smoke. That's where the engine.
Get a glimpse and then go on again.
Well, the engines now must have a bit of power.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a big train. I mean, even for old times, that's a big train. Full of people, so it's a fair weight.
But you used to see, I've seen photographs of JAs going through Wellington, across, bridges and whatever through. Now long, 12, 13 carriages.
Yeah.
And that's just a single steam, locomotive, steam train.
Years ago. I thought they would have had one of those diesel.
Just in case.
Yeah, tucked in somewhere, middle or the end.
Must have the old girls pretty well maintained because they're going well.
Well, those yellow ones you see, the Palmerston North, those you see it here, don't you?
Yeah, the GVR ones, yeah.
There was
A lot of them are timber.
hundreds, I mean.
That's the reason why you've got to go slow over certain
In there,
parts of the network. Because they're regulated to a certain speed to go across level crossings.
yeah, they're all on sort of shorter work, shorter journey work. You know, you go back to, like, see, 15 on that was the engine, but I mean, the wagons must be, some of them must be that old. This is a 1975.
No, this is the class of wagon. It's the wagon's number. Because like last night we were in AA
Yeah,
1533 or something. It's like the locomotives, they've all got registration number, not the year. So if you Google that number, you could find out the date of birth.
Horseshoe bend, thick track.
And not conditioned with this one,
Camera.
so it must have made them good.
I was going through, what's the name, Heritage Society yesterday. They showed all the body of these, all timber. It's just a metal skin with a few metal brackets on it, especially for the roof struts. It was basically stripped down to bare bones.
They're probably all good made of timber too, these ones.
All Remo.
Same big Remo with it, yeah.
So up at the hut, they had two-storey state houses, and they had a truck on either end with a right turn, and they just go, oh no, that's no good. So they pulled the whole thing down. But I mean, they've got 1950s or they see the studs are close together.
Yeah. All rough sawn.
With the boards, no,
And the bracing was all 6x1.
yeah.
You cut it in.
So they're good, but
Yeah.
they just want to land again. Yeah. come back, I just about finished, and you put those 20 by 20 steel braces on there. And you cut the, yeah.
Just put a saw up there and just chisel out the bloody. Waste of bloody time, I think.
Some up above think, oh, that's a good idea, and put it into.
It's something out of America.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff. It was going to be cheaper. I'd save half an hour on the bloody setting the bloody thing in, because all you did was run through the skilly through it, make a lot of cuts and bang it with the hammer. It was a bit rough out with the chisel.
I suppose it's, so you don't have to buy the timber 61 for the bracing, but
yeah,
for the work to muck around. Well, no, the 61 you got to chisel it out anyway, so.
Yeah. But then, yeah, that was about half an hour to an hour's work.
Or you put 42 bracing.
Cut them all in, yep.
Yeah.
That took even longer, because each angle was different.
So when you go to a job and they want a hot board or something, and then make a hole and there's a bloody wang or cross me or a face behind it.
That's the reason why they had extensions for drills. Just keep on adding to the bloody things. What time is it supposed to be Ohakune?
Yeah, 1 o'clock I think.
Oh yeah.
But I've had one leave out of it after.
Yeah. Service them, turn them around. Was this the last turn? No. Next turntable was Tamarunui, and they got rid of the one at Kumu, Tigawiti. The Cuzzy Bros are taking it over, the land.
So when we go back, you'll be facing the right way.
You can see the tendons up there, you can't see the heads involved.
No, I'd be facing forward, you going backwards.
Yeah, so the other train were on. When we got off to where we wanted to go, and come back on, we just swung the seats back.
Yeah.
Facing the right way.
Been on a couple where they've got everybody to move from one side of the carriage to the other, swap over, because going up or going down you can see one side, and going back you give them the view that we've seen. Oh, why should we do that? Think about it.
Yeah, there's always do's and don'ts.
No, most of them are dumb blondes, the wives. Couldn't understand. We've got to move. You've got to move over a wee bit.
Greetings folks, we're just coming up to Narragago, which is a interesting little spot. See the Hauteta River down to our left. There's a few interesting crossings. We've crossed the Hauteta River about 7 times on our journey up from Taihape. Just a little update for you about the proposed photo stop we had at Turangariri. Unfortunately, with the delay that we've got on our train, which is about 25 minutes at the moment, 30 minutes, we are not going to stop at Turangariri for the photo stop. We will, however, go very slowly round that interesting rail feature known as a horseshoe curve. So we encourage you to look out the left-hand side of the train, as you may already have been, through these curves as we follow the cliffs here, getting a good view of the steam locomotives and the train behind. So just a reminder, we won't be stopping at Turangariri, but we will be going very slow through this horseshoe curve so you can get a good view of the train as it passes through this interesting railway feature.
We therefore will be arriving into Ohakune a little bit behind schedule, and we have similar time for our departure out of Ohakune. Further update will be provided to you closer to Ohakune on our timings there.
No feathers.
The character of the shorts on. Everything above the pants, all warm. Cover your legs to keep them warm.
But the rail lines are rusty, so not used.
They'll be used because they're a sign.
Just traversing the Ohakune, sort of a little bit up the line, we go through a very short tunnel called Ohakune, but also formerly known as Rabbit. It's a bit like a rabbit hole because it's very short. And then we're on to the Taringariri loop, which is probably the most spectacular. We'll be going around that slowly as you've been told, so we can all get a good view of the train ahead of us.
And what are the people at the front of the carriage, front of the train thing? We can't see the engines. Duh.
Well, you're right, we're in the middle of the train.
Yeah.
We had some switched on surveys back in the 1800s, to survey a
Yep.
line.
No GPS, no nothing.
And there's some rugged country that look like this.
They had the cuzzy bros showing them how to get through the bush.
Something's in the good for.
Otherwise they get eaten by kiwis and moas.
Well, that track we went in Aussie, they actually camped there, they lived there as a
Yeah.
shuttle to make the bloody track.
Yeah.
Suppose they had to do that here.
Well, yeah, well they would, I suppose. Yeah.
The train, you can be looking out, seeing the train ahead of us. Here at the front, you can look backwards, see the train behind us.
Fair over there.
In the mirror, what do you say?
That's what gets me. He's standing there in the little window. You take over the bloody conductor's seat.
Can't see nothing but bush.
And a tunnel.
And that's the rabbit hole. And now we're going to be entering this
Can't go through there.
lovely
Go
big
through a tunnel.
loop
There you can.
where we should get some spectacular views. If you look out to your left very shortly, you'll see across the valley to where this big loop doubles back right opposite us. Just as we go around this corner here, the next bend.
Like, you know, I've seen the rugby. No doubt mother will record that.
You got to touch them.
Bridge here, if you're looking across to your left, you'll see a little bridge and you'll see a whole lot of train chasers standing up on the bank over there. That's where we're heading. So we always double right back on ourselves.
Old hay bales are coming handy.
Oh, you can just see it come around there, look. You can't see it. It disappeared. Right? Oh my god, it's in the smoke already. Oh, yeah.
Must be part of the British Navy. Make smoke. Just to hide yourself.
They come from the Indians?
Yeah, wait till the we go past. Oh, yeah, they're right there.
Everybody where?
It's almost.
Oh, look at them all. Oh my god.
At least they got theirs.
To your left hand side you'll see where we started the big loop over on the left there.
Yeah, we're going to go back around that way again, see?
There's some good footage taken down there somewhere.
Hey, look at the water tank.
Oh dear. I think he might be in a bit of problem there.
A little bit of width problem. Hey,
Now if you've got the loud from the strop, make it too wide.
4x2
Yep. Been there, done that. Or 4x2 on the back axle to stop it, or the diff stop being lowered.
too much weight.
Yeah.
Okay, so very shortly we will be rejoining with the State Highway 1 out to our right. And now the big announcement for the raffle. So if you all got your tickets?
No.
If you haven't got your ticket, have a quick look. This is it.
Too bloody late.
First prize, Orange A013. Orange A013, first prize.
My lucky
Second
number.
prize for the raffle, Green A040. Green A040, second prize. And third prize, Green A091. Third prize, Green A091. Now you may collect these from the souvenir counter, which is
20 carriages that way.
where was it now? Oh, you'll know where it is.
Another half one.
Once I open up the souvenir counter and you're about to collect. First prize was that big hamper. Second prize, you can select one of our caps, a locomotive number on it. And the third prize, you can collect one of those stuffed toys, teddy bears, etc. with the little bits that say Steam Inc. Okay.
In the 90s when it was shit orcharding and all paid, someone told me a guy who did a bit of work for school, a case guy, told me that if you want to buy a ticket in a raffle, first prize is a 10-acre orchard, second prize is a 20-acre orchard, third prize is a 30-acre orchard with a pack house. Been to Mono Station, on trips here.
School there.
I don't know if it's probably not there anymore.
Yeah,
Big
it's
station.
station. Oh, the station, I think it's sort of small there. But I went back up, be about 30 years ago now. Uncle reckoned out a few errands and go to Muckaty Road, so okay, we went there. Raffle tickets. 3 geese.
Geese?
Geese, yeah. Oh, God. So I didn't bother about buying a ticket, but I don't really want to that fuss on a goose. Give them a weeks ago. Oh, just about the come back.
They're live.
A sugar bag with 3 necks poking out of it.
Years ago,
I bet there's a fight to get the bloody things in there.
Magic race. I haven't been there for well, we employed a guy who used to work for a car dealer in Monterey.
So we're just at the location of Ohakine. Now this is a significant place in the history of the steam locomotive KA945, which is currently under its second restoration. down at Ohakine depot. Just up the line here, just before the road over bridge, it came to grief. It was derailed in July 1961 when it hit a slip and turned on its side. They did manage to put it back on the tracks, and it was finally written off in December 1967 when a lot of steam locomotives came out of service. And it was located at Taumarunui for many years, up until June 1975, when it was purchased by Sir Southwood and towed to the engine shed in Ohakine. Underwent a major restoration, and it entered service again in 1985, which was significant because it was the first steam locomotive allowed to operate on the main line after steam had been discontinued. And around that period, they ran a crunchy bar train right throughout New Zealand, with whistle stops in just about every town. A very, very popular event. After 10 years, it was taken out for its 10-year survey. It was decided to do a thorough overhaul and restoration. The first time it had been done, and put into service, but this time it's going to be a much more thorough restoration. And we hope to have it back on the tracks again in a couple of years. It's still undergoing restoration in between other jobs around the depot.
Anyway, Carl spent a bit of time at Ohakine. He loved it. He said, "Sweet, there's a public elastic front, a local roading crew, a few dozen bigger, tar sealed inside his bar. The pub was right on the edge of the road, so he was a public bar with a tar sealed floor." And he said, "Anyways, it Carl went there one night. He said, at about just half an hour before it got dark, they had a horse race down the road for a pound of dope. And then later on in the evening, there was a raffle came around for the second era was the place was just going, and then the wife was probably 2 hours away. But a beautiful place.
Oh yeah.
As I say, have you spent much time in Ohakine? I want to go back. Alison did a teaching section at Ohakune. And that was 45 years ago. That was the last time I want to go. It's beautiful.
It is nice. It's good to go through the forest and go up.
I've never been across the ferry to the Rowan, and I'd like to do that.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Still don't. Together it's largely unspoiled.
So we're now on the run down to Waiuru, and shortly, provided the cloud cover doesn't cover up the mountain, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, I'll get there on Monday night and set up. Yeah, so I set up.
Good commentary.
Yeah, so I set for like Green Guinness and I set up. Guinness does all the music. Yeah, from 7 to about 9, 8:30. Drive on Conway and Coffee Choice.
It's still going. It's actually preparing by
I'm at the doors down there.
TVR, the handles the excursion size.
I was watching a lady, she was like,
state one's ever seen so much traffic. On the motorway.
Yeah, I think we had 24 for our home.
How many people would have seen a train this thing? Train this big?
Same night,
Double headed
we
steam.
had our one, but at the end of the home.
Unheard of.
So, that doesn't help at all.
Would have end up not one of the best.
Yeah, we've done that. Yeah, as I said, we had Robin tonight that way. Say we didn't get red bills, values to come our way.
40,000 merino between the Currioi bush and the Palmerston North ranges. So pig tracks have been formed in the 1870s, and the gentle landing track was used to get hundreds of tons of wool to Napier, and later the shorter but linear routes of Hales track and Fields track to Ohakune were built. These tracks were later developed as roads for wool and stagecoaches. There was a coaching out the slow route for mail coach passengers on the Napier Taupo run. As I said, the railway arrived in 1907, but by then not much wool was being sent out as overgrazing by sheep had led to a plague of rabbits. And by the 1930s there were no sheep at all to be grazed by a sheep station. And in 1939, most of the leasehold Wairau sheep station land was taken by the government for the army camp.
I won the prize.
You won the prize? I didn't.
Anyway, they should fill it line for line. Worm had got it by was thinking he's all over obeying. My fault, I'm leaving out. Anyway, when I think about that, we look around as many times. She said, oh, but we've got a big total on up the top of the farm. So, she took it right up the back of the farm on the corner. She got killed me,
As a military town, that grew in conjunction with the New Zealand Army camp and the training group.
Even if it was a good
In 1936 to 1938, the territorial artillery batteries camped under campus at Wairau. In 1939, a month after war was declared, a large training camp was built and more land acquired for training.
The bombs were coming across from Hastings.
At the peak of Wairau's population was 6,000 people, but it has reduced in recent years for some of the army units were transferred to Linton and later on to also to Ohakine. They still run a number of courses here at Wairau.
Trying to drag guns through the bush and gun carriages and they don't make hay or something. Next minute there's a fire there next time. The chief said to his mates, when they get to about here they'll kill them.
So we can see the lower slopes of Mount Ruapehu. Whether we'll get any actual views of it or not, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see when we get closer to the mountain. We'll be scooting around the western side of the mountain.
Shelter. At least it's a shelter. We gave up with I worked for Fort Road a couple of years ago. We came out here and filled the car commercial all day. That was sorry. Pretty bleak. That was I was coming back to Auckland once and driving through Wairau.
they did a dirty on it, like we. I mean, Yuki's not doing much better than him anyway.
None of it's been his fault.
No.
We've got a ship car.
Yeah.
Yep. We had whatever it was last time.
Tangiwai, and very, very shortly we'll be passing over the Tangiwai River Bridge. So just after we cross the bridge, you may be able to spot on your left the memorial erected there to the people who died here in the worst rail disaster in New Zealand's history on the 24th of December of 1953, when the overnight express from Wellington to Auckland passed over the Tangiwai Railway Bridge just after it had been weakened by a massive laha from the crater lake at Mount Ruapehu. The bridge collapsed as the engine went over, sending the train into the Whangahu River and killing 151 people. Many army and naval personnel were involved in the rescue of survivors and the recovery of bodies. And Sister Mortimer of the Wairu Camp Hospital was nicknamed the Angel of Tangiwai. She worked non-stop for 3 days tending the survivors and laying out the bodies. So more recently they erected a memorial to the two drivers and the fireman of the locomotive. Now when we're in Ohakune, just to the south of the station, there is a museum, mainly railway museum, but they have a very good section devoted to this disaster with model of the actual event and lots of photographs, etc. So while we're in Ohakune, we've got time, take a wander down to the south of the station and have a look. Right down to cross the bridge here. Blowing those whistles just in memory of those people who perished, 151. Hard to imagine now when you just see that little trickle of a very small river, really, the Whangahu River, which has its outfall down on the coast.
Electricity substation there. So yeah, maybe it's for the main transmission line to the country.
No, making no.
Ah, right. Yeah,
and out to our left is the Karioi pulp mill, which has now been closed. Very unfortunate, because out to our right there's a very extensive Karioi pine forests and plantations.
There's overseas owners, wasn't there? There's overseas people who own it. Shouldn't do that. Yeah, logs go around, take it. minutes, it's come to that week. So that would have to be, better psychological train or native stuff. It doesn't really allow to take it through more.
So if I could give you an advance notice, please, of what's all transpiring at Ohakune. Now, obviously, there are some folk who've got meal tickets. You will be able to join the queue there out on the station platform to get your meal. I understand there are some people who are on a wait list for if there's any spare meals left. Will you stand and wait away from that queue and see Julie? She's one of our medics, got a medic label on her back. Julie will have any spare tickets, if there are any. Just another notice though, that the lounge car buffet counter will be closed at Ohakune. Now, the train, the platform is not long enough to accommodate our whole train, so it's possible that the first two carriages, the yellow carriages, might be off the platform, in which case you will have to move back through the train to where you can alight on the platform. The same applies to the rear of the train. Again, they will be off the platform. If you're uncomfortable in coming down off the train onto the ballast, just wait your turn and move through the train to where the platform is. It's not a long platform. Now the train will be stationed at the platform for the duration of our stay, so if you wish to come back on board, you may do so, and again, just make sure that you get on where it's safe to do so. Meanwhile, of course, our two steam locomotives will be detached from the train and go down to the south end of the yards to be turned on the turntable, to be watered and cold, all ready for our return journey. You may wish to observe that happening, but please do not enter the rail corridor. There is a roadway that goes down that way, and in fact, as I mentioned earlier, there is a museum down there which you may like to look at. We're going to be in Ohakune for approximately an hour and a half.
Decent culture. You've been hiking home. Doing what I was doing. Spend hundreds of dollars for a trip on a train and you fall asleep. One between Auckland and Hamilton. Cost me nothing, but still go to sleep on it. Did you tell the boy as you walk through?
Invisible edge, she's 9 degrees in Ohakune.
Don't worry about it. I got my wooden gloves on.
There's no wind.
Days used to do about 70 plus mile an hour across the Canterbury Plains. Yeah. The old man saying used to try and chase them, but they always got them at the crossing. There was the days when he used to ride on a motorbike with a side saddle. Sidecar.
Two wire. Yep.
I sound asleep.
Nothing near no station.
Much shelter.
That's about all.
All these stations, buildings that caught fire, the bloody government has made a fortune out of it. Absolutely on purpose.
You see too much of the mountain, I don't think. A little bit.
It's ready to go boom.
Yeah.
Just a note from the bar staff, the alcohol must be consumed on the train. Please do not take alcohol onto the platform, it's a condition of their licence. So if you're going to consume it, please do it on the train. Thank you. So just reiterating the situation down at Ohakune, where we're arriving very shortly. We're here for approximately an hour and a half. You'll have time, of course, to have your meal. If you've got a meal ticket, just form a line there on the station platform. Any of those who are on a wait list for a meal, just go and see Julie. And okay, just had a message that we've got an hour. Yeah, 1400 back on the train, and 2 o'clock back on the train, ready to go. Okay, so that's an hour, should be plenty of time. If you've got an inclination, you can go down to the Railway Museum and have a look around there. As I mentioned, it's got quite a good display of the Tangiwai disaster. And just a reminder, please do not enter the rail corridor. Just remain on the side. There's a roadway there.
You just made to walk down the side of the fence.
Now,
Between the track.
also we've mentioned the fact that you might need to come back through the train if you're on the front two carriages. They will probably be off the platform.
Oh, what a shame.
You won't be able to get down on to the ballast there. If you're on the rear of the train, there will be the rear carriages off the platform also. If you're able-bodied and are confident, you could get down onto the ballast. Just be very careful. But if you're not so able-bodied, move through the train to where there is a platform and you can disembark there. The train will still be stabled at the station, so if you want to get back on any time, you're welcome to do that. So enjoy your little stay here at Ohakune. Reminder, we'll be departing in just over an hour at 2 o'clock. Back on board by 2 o'clock. Thank
I
you.
think we're there. And all the foamers will be on that side. Hopefully.
Oh yes, and the lounge car buffet counter will be closed.
When you look at that way, all the tagging on it's camouflaged. The little TR locomotive. It's fun, man. Yep. So it goes up, down, no, up, down that way, then up, then down, and back onto it again.